going on, y'all? This is Kenny Cams, and this is the Black Show. And my allergies are kicking my butt. So if y'all see me blinking a lot this episode, or like I gotta stop it and cut it because my nose is running, that's what it is, man. This weather is a fool in the Midwest. Today's topic of the Black Show, I wanted to go over a couple different things, but I think the lights are just hurting my eyes. We'll try to get through it though. But it's called Cosmic Indifference, and it was a video I watched today on it was either Facebook or Instagram. I was scrolling, and it was a video talking about how ants have a whole world. And he had ants on the ground in the picture, and he was talking about how they have like lives and colonies and spouses and all that stuff. And we don't care. We know they exist, but we don't care about their inner workings of what's going on. And on the other spectrum of that, like, they couldn't even comprehend like going to work. You know what I mean? So and that's what I realized in the evolution gap. It is when they always talked about evolution, right? When we were in school, they talked about evolution from terms of like physical, but they never discussed like the mental portion of it. And I do think that was purposeful because our education system is a sham. But along with that though, like, I think a lot of the people in power or in like higher roles in society in general. So that could be your doctors, that could be your professors, that could be your, higher education people, that could be business owners, that could be people that went the academic route and then achieved like material success in their careers. I noticed over COVID, I kind of have a mix of both because I've worked a lot of blue collar jobs like recently. But I've also worked like higher education, like where I got to wear a shirt and a tie jobs too recently. So like I've seen the world from a very, very interesting perspective because like I've truly, and I've seen like exorbitant wealth, and I've also grew up. So we weren't necessarily in poverty. We were just kind of a regular black family that was trying to make it. But I grew up around like abject poverty for sure. And my house was one of the stable houses on the neighborhood. So like I have a interesting world perspective of this. So, like, who people come off as intelligent. So I'll put it, and I don't mean to offend anybody by this, but I'll put it into perspective during COVID. I graduated college, undergrad with like a 2.0. And I did crush grad school, but like grad school is a little bit different. And I was in a different headspace to where I could actually just do grad school. But while doing grad school, I had a kind of epiphany that a lot of the people that I was colleagues with at that point had no clue of how the world actually works and how like life really is, because they've been surrounded by this bubble of like material. So when you get more money, you don't really get more stuff. People lose access to you. And so like I realized a lot of these people of like that had doctorates and had like life experience of going and traveling different countries and whatnot didn't really even understand the place that they came from at all. I see this. I'm real hard on like the sororities and the Divine Nine. I'm real hard on them, even though I love the Q. My dad was a Q man. The Qs did a lot for my family in general. So like I love the Qs. I'm on them, and to me, you can be a part of that for the stuff like that. You can be a part of for the actual stuff that it gives you. Like if you need friendship, boom. If you need connections, boom. So it's reasons why. So I don't like say like, oh, everybody in the Divine Nine are terrible. No, not at all. My homeboy Pud is and like a couple of my young dogs is Qs. I be giving them Q gear because I got it at the house. So it's not like that. It's more of that class of black people are so disconnected, and they're embarrassed by how they grew up. They're embarrassed by their family members. They're embarrassed by people around them. because that group, to get in that group, usually you have to be one of the ones that have always kind of been in that group. It's like almost a selection from birth. And like I was selected for I got, man, the Qs, even at my dad's funeral, the Qs and the Masons tried so hard to like recruit me aboard. I tried to explain to them like the way my brain works, and it may be the ADHD, it may just be I'm my dad's son, I don't know. I don't like hierarchical structures. So like coaching was good for me because I know that the head coach put his work in as a GA. He did exactly the job I did to get there. In these groups, it's like high school, and I'll give a good example of this. In high school, sophomore year, I was class president at Riverside. I didn't do anything. It was a popularity contest. And then from then on, I just kind of was in student council. I think the next year I was like vice president or something like that. And then I think senior year I tried to quit, and then Mr. Wild made me an advisor. It's a popularity contest. And Mr. Wild knew, like, sir, he wanted certain kids in it, and it was more for us resume-wise than what we could actually do for it. So, but we were a selected bubble group. So, like, I look at anything that's not merit-based, I don't respect. That's why I respect the trades and, like, being carpenters and even painters and, like, roofers. I did all those jobs. I'm doing that right now in my mama's house. Painting and all that, and sanding walls down and stuff like that. So I respect that group, because in my interactions with that group, they're the most intelligent group that I've ever. If you've never had the chance to sit and talk to a farmer, somebody that owns and operates a farm, and if it's a medium to decent sized farm too, those are the most intelligent people in the world. They know the business side. They know the agricultural side. They know how to work with the animals. Like, that's how my brain works. I don't like specialized skill. And a lot of these black people now that are in these privileged positions, they have specialized skills, like, or no skill at all. You just were able to comply and be at the right place at the right time. And like, I used to think of this, it's this term in the black community called imposter syndrome. I don't think that's a thing. When I wasn't qualified and I would talk as if I was qualified for stuff, I did this a lot of my life until like I actually became qualified pretty much. I was like, no, I got to really learn how to do this if I want to do this for real. It's a level of you don't understand what you're talking about, but you want to seem as intelligent as everybody else around you. So you kind of just blend in with their way of thinking to fit in with them, right? And you don't feel like you're supposed to be where you're supposed. When you're qualified, it's a different type of confidence, because you know you're supposed to be where you're supposed to be. You've just been waiting for the opportunity to get there. A lot of these people, the Kamala Harrises, the fraternity people, the sorority, the black, it's an epidemic with black women, though, for sure. Like black women, and I think I know why. I'll say that after that. But it's when you get in that class, like, outside of what they do for work, they don't know much. They don't even know much about their fraternities and sororities. That's the part I realized. That's why I stopped respecting a lot of them people. 'Cause I'm like, if you truly are into something and you believe it and you know the literature and you're informed on what you're talking about, I'll listen to whatever you got to say. I can listen to somebody from the KKK talk if they're informed about the history of it. Just like I can listen to somebody from the Hebrew Israelites if they're informed and have like and they know what they're talking about. It may not be correct information, but if it's earnest information that they believe, I'll listen to it. The reason why black women specifically projected a lot of this shit, because like black women don't have a lot of skills. And that's why I completely understand this narrative of like promoting Sexy Red and all of them and sleeping with men for money, and like he got to make $100K. He got to do, like, you know what I mean, like the financial side. Because I think black women are understanding that these degrees don't mean anything, and you don't have any skills, and you're too old to learn any skills. So it's a double down of shaming the men, poisoning the minds of the young women, and trying to grab as many assets as you can. And to me, that sounds like another culture that aligns very much with black women all the time. It reminds me exactly how they move while they've been kicked out of other countries. So what I think has happened is that group has co-opted black women and then white women that hate their fathers. And now they're one big coalition, and that's the Democratic Party. And like, I look at all of this shit. That's why I say like the universal, what was the initial one? Let me look this up. Cosmic indifference. Because I'm so indifferent about how the world works at this point. I'm just kind of floating through this thing. Why? I had some traumatic stuff happen, yeah, but that was the best thing that happened, because what it did, it made me realize like none of these people are fucking serious. Like nobody's serious. I was being way too serious. And I can't stop being serious, so I kind of just detach myself. But none of these people are serious. None of these people know what they're talking about. And they've been saying it all this time and then telling me I was crazy when none of them knew what they were talking about that whole time. So they were gaslighting me that whole time. And it took me a long time to realize, like, what was the reason for it? I was like, is it personal to me? And in some cases, yes, it was personal. But in the most cases, because they're scared, they don't know. So they're hoping that I'm wrong. So to hope that I'm wrong, they just shame me so that it doesn't become into reality. And for those people that like that, I kind of got away from them. The one thing I want to tell, like, especially the black people in this, especially my black millennial age that think everybody got the world figured out. Like, you're not as smart as you think you are. Like, I'm one that realize I don't know anything. I've been around real intelligent people where I'm like, holy cow. I had somebody break down to me what Terence Howard was talking about in person and kind of dismantle it a little bit. He's on the track, but he's not. He's missing pieces. That person knew the missing pieces. So this is not the information Terence Howard has is information that people have. And I've sit down and spoken to those people face to face. Some of them going to be on interviews here. But the average person that's like, just because you went to college doesn't mean you're smart. Just because you have a doctorate don't mean you're smart. That means you're well educated in a system that's pretty shitty, that really doesn't have a lot of good aspects to it. So, I mean, you have a diploma from a shitty country. Like, that's why I'm all now, everything else is stripped away. I'm all content and character. The other thing for our generation that we really need to understand, you are not as important as you think you are. And this is so hard for some people to grasp because they've been told that you're important to the people that you're important to. You're not important to everybody. Your opinion doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter. Like, if you're listening to this, you're listening to this because you chose to listen to this. My actual opinion in the world doesn't matter. So, like, and I won't say it doesn't matter. It matters to me. It matters to you. But in the scheme of the world, no one gives a fuck about what you're feeling or thinking or talking about. And people move as if that's not a thing. Like, that's how the world actually operates. So if you're upset about something, I don't care. Like, it's happened so much, and this is a black culture thing I see like at the gas station. I'm like, they get into it with the guy at the store for something they did ignorant, and then they look at me like, this motherfucker. I'm like, don't pull me in your shit. You're wrong. Don't pull me into that. I'm not going to justify what you're doing. Just leave me out of it. I don't care. And people, I think that's the thing, that people think that people care. They don't. I had, especially over from 2021 to about 2020, from about 2019 to 2021-ish, I had the people in my life that I thought I cared about so much, so fucking much. And I look at it now, I'm like, oh, none of it, from ex-girlfriends to college friends, I'm like, oh, none of them cared at all the entire time. And once I realized that, I was like, oh, people could fake that shit real, real well. So you got to be careful who you're around. And you got to kind of keep your space. That's why I say, mind your business. I mind my business. If it doesn't directly involve me, or even if it's some emotions towards me that I'm like, that's not warranted, I'll stop talking to that person immediately. I was like, because you shouldn't feel in the right to do that to me when I've never, you know what I mean? We don't have that type of, so you talk to me like that, we're done. I'm not going to engage at all because I don't know you like that. It's only a few people I'll engage on that level with, and pretty much most of them are family. So like I won't engage with anybody back and even family. Some family I won't even engage back and forth. I'm like, oh, that's way too much emotion. We don't have that type of connection for you to have that type of emotion to be speaking to me that way. So people got to realize they're not as important as they think they are. And like this is just a message that I got for like all of those black college educated, think you're better than the regular black people. And this is coming from someone I have the degrees y'all have. Check your ego at the door, okay, when you listen to this. Because like you wasted your money and your time and all of that being educated, even at these HBCUs, being educated by people that have never really had lived the black American experience. They have all been privileged Nepo babies, even the black ones. And they've been teaching you what they think black is or what they hope black is, what they wish black is. And that's why I get so fired up about Kamala Harris, because like I was talking with my sister about this. I'm like, because as black women, like I would be offended because like being black is special. Being an American, African American is special. Not just being black, because black is an American thing. Because if you're from Africa, you're African. We're black and African American. Growing up with your cousins playing outside, that's American black stuff. Hooping at the park, going to the gas station. Like, yeah, we grew up in the hood. We didn't grow up with a lot of resources, but that's American black experience. And I'm not gonna let somebody culturally appropriate my black experience. I had somebody in the podcast, HD, said, "Who would you take, Rachel Dolezal over Kamala?" I'm like, Rachel Dolezal, at least she was actually actively helping black people in her community and not just perpetrating as it. So the people that you are worshiping right now, black people that went to college and like think that just because I'm in a sorority, I'm better than these other black people. I know better than them. I'm smarter than them. No, you're not. No, you're not. And look up. Actually, don't just glance over this shit, because you're stupid if you do, and you're dumb, and you're an idiot. Actually look up why Martin Luther King was killed. It wasn't the "I have a dream" speech that got him killed. Look what he said to Sidney Poitier that actually got him killed. Look into this stuff, because it's and I'm gonna get more, because it's frustrating with especially educated black people that's my age. Like, you really supporting the Democrats? If you're supporting the Democrats at this point, both parties is corrupt as shit. Both parties. I'm not voting none of that shit. I'm not doing it. And you can call me irresponsible. I call you an idiot for voting for it. If you're really into this Democrat thing, Republicans, that may at least make sense, because at least he's giving them lip service that he's going to help them. If you're really bought into this shit, I judge you as a person. I don't want you anywhere near me if you're a Democrat. Anywhere near me, because the thing that history repeats itself, right? And the Nazis didn't think they were Nazis until now we know they're Nazis. Like I was saying with the COVID mask shit, I'm like, you telling me I got to wear a mask and I can't go out? That's Nazi behavior. And you're supporting it? Y'all would have supported the Nazis. And this ain't a religion thing. I know Jews that are supporting the Nazis right now. So like, don't get off your fucking high horse acting like you know everything and just get, your reality that you live in is so far from the truth. And I'm gonna say this: Americans have been propaganda. The Smith Modernization Act of 2012. Barack Obama, thank you. Y'all gonna be judged in history, and your great grandkids are gonna have to lie about who their grandparents actually were. Because all of this shit is unraveling like yarn right now, and y'all see it, and we've been right this whole time. And all the propaganda got to y'all brains. And I tell you, if someone that disregards what I think or feel, what I feel, you can disregard it. What I'm saying or like my judgment on something, I take that very personally, because that's a straight judgment on my character. That's saying you don't think that I'm an honest actor. And if you don't think that way, fuck you, fam. It's Kenny Camps. I'm out. Peace.